Who am I? That's a very hard question. It's an interesting one though. Who am I really? I'm still trying to find out. Because what is happening is all the other subjects you learn about so and so said this, so and so said that. But once you get into art as a creative person, it's really you are learning about you. So you go inward to learn about you. So I can't really tell you who I am because I'm still finding out. My name is Mazola Wa Mwashighadi. I am from, they call the land Kenya, but that's just a physical address. Because most of the time when you say I come from this place, then people want to use that place to define you. But you can't really define me from coming from Kenya, no. Coming from Africa, we answer questions with another question. Why not Jamaica? I came to Jamaica first in 1997, almost 9 months, up to 1998. Had a show at the Gallery Pegasus. It was very successful. I was at the Edna Manley doing freeform sculpture. And then I went back and came back again in the year 2000. I was much younger then, so I could take these risks. You understand? If it was now, I would think twice. But maybe no. I think I would still take the risk, so long as I feel it. It's a big risk anyway. But as you can see in one of the pieces, there are baskets with stuff, which I call harvest. Somebody could be asking, what is this guy talking about? But I've been harvesting. I've been harvesting love from friends. I go on the road and I just pick material and I use that material. This piece that I'm doing, which is ongoing work, I found the pieces here. There are a number of pieces that were done here. I found the pieces when I came here. So is that not harvest? Yes. But is that wherever you are, it's really you. You can be anywhere and continue, telling your stories. Because for me, art is really about telling my stories. If fame comes with it, okay, but I don't really care about it. No. I don't even care about the money, no. There are some works I don't even know how to price it. Because the way it came to me is so organic. I'm walking in the morning and I'm just seeing these visuals, and because I collect stuff. And so they get tied with whatever I'm doing with my life. So I'm really recording, it's a documentary of my life. Maybe later people will write and say, oh, this man who came from Kenya, he was doing this, that. But for me, I'm just doing how it comes to me. Today is a really big day. Every day is a big day, but today is much bigger because I'm having my last exhibition on this space, which I've been from 2016 up to now. I call it the playground because I'm always playing. I've never grown up like many people, though I'm aged, but I've never grown up because most of us lose the child in us. So we become adults and we become boring. The exhibition is Garden of Xaymaca. I don't know if I pronounce it the right way, but that's the original name of Jamaica. It changed when Christopher Columbus was discovered actually by the Tainos. And that's why I have a piece where Tainos are discovering Christopher Columbus, who is blindfolded. He didn't know, he lost his way. He was going to India looking for spices. Then he ended up here, but he wrote books that, oh yeah, he discovered Jamaica. And it became Jamaica because I think him, being from Portugal, he had Ja. You understand? But also, this is, although the setup is about Jamaica and how the name changed, because after the name changed, then there are so many atrocities that followed. Because the Spanish came, they destroyed the Tainos. Then later, the British came, fought the Spanish, and all this has been going on. If I was living in Kenya, I don't think I would be doing whalers at Gori because I just read it in books. But when you are in a place where these things happen and you can see how it has affected people, and so you don't become judgmental, but because of finding ways of healing, then I do these things. Because although these things happen on this side, these things are happening, humans are inhuman, most of them, all the time, to others. And so I try to address those issues, but very diplomatically, and also in a way to try and look for healing. Because we can't be just opening the wound and say, hey, we suffered, we suffered, we suffered. No, it's to find ways of healing. And what can we do? We can find a way of not really fighting, but how to game the system, because the system is gamed against most of us. There are places which had their original names. For example, you look at the map of Africa, in East Africa, the second biggest freshwater lake. They call it Lake Victoria. It's okay because we have maps now and whatever. But the truth is, those people who are over the other side, they had a name for it. Those people who are over the other side, they had a name for it. And this other way. And they were not consulted that, oh, you know, now we are naming it this way. No, they just named it. That's why there was a ruler in Uganda. He did many bad things, but he also tried to change the names of the lakes. He had a point. But of course, I mean, you are fighting a system which is so entrenched. And with that change, it's not just the change of names. It's the change of the system of people. So for example, my great-grandfather was involved in sacrificing for rain. He was a guardian of the community. When I look at that, it's really powerful. That was spirituality. They accepted. They were forced into something else. Conversion means you are changing from who you are to who you are not. And there's nothing wrong with being in a faith. But that you have to leave yourself over there to be this person who you are not. It's very tricky. And I'm not saying this because of now. I've been like this from when I was young. I've never changed. My whole family is born again Christian. And I tell them, I don't need to really be born again. That I know you are my brother. If you have an issue, I can help you if I can. And I'm not against religion, no. Jesus was a great, great man. But I don't want to follow him. I want to be him. I want to be him, not even like, no. Because if you hit me here, I'm not going to turn here, no. But I'll just walk away. But that will destroy you because all the time you see me. Because what people don't know is there's a lot of philosophy in the scriptures. It's philosophy. Those guys were artists. They were writers. Writers are artists. It is my last show because I have to give up this space and move to other things and move to other places. So I'll be traveling. But at the same time, many people, when I tell them this, they are saying, oh, they are sad. But, you know, you have to flow with, just like water. When I step out of here, somebody will come, it will be different. Not so. Because their energy could be different, maybe more positive than maybe what I am, but it won't be the same. A house is just a building unless people live in it. And what comes from their energy and stuff like that. I'm very honest. I don't miss anything. In fact, people in Kenya tell me, oh, they miss me. I tell them, why don't you get your ticket and come? Yeah, come so I can cook for you some. It's Kenyan food, but because of the influence of Jamaica, it's mixed with Jamaican, you know. Yeah, why don't you come?